Hey YouTube, long-time seller here, and I am in the new digs finally. I moved in and set up the office this morning. I got here about 4 o'clock in the morning and got this set up. And let me show you what I got. I recorded this video, but the microphone didn't work too well in this office for some reason, and I'm getting a little echo. I've got a new clip-on mic ordered, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me better. But anyway, I'll give you a brief little tour of the office, and then I'm going to go out and show you where I'm at in the warehouse, okay? So what I did is I brought in... I have my desk here, and I have it set up with I've got my scale right here, I've got my printer, my monitor and keyboard, and this is basically all I need to list and pack and ship order. Now, I do keep one of these little roll around tables here, because when I'm listing, I will flat stack my items here. And then when they're done, I'll just pick them up and take them to the photography area. But anyway, so this is fishing stuff here. This may go out into my fishing storage area. I'm not sure yet. Right now, these are just some brand new lures and stuff I have. I got a nice shelf behind me. I got a few things, camera, printer. I keep a few things in here that items for sale that I want are temperature controlled, such as that box right there is a bunch of black lipstick that's kind of popular in there. They're kind of expensive, but and then some MREs, and that's stuff that I don't want out in the heat of my warehouse. All right, that's can be a nap chair, or if I have a guest. All righty, and right here, this is my packing and shipping, and this is the items that I use primarily. This is my most used items. I do have other items out in the warehouse, such as larger boxes, bubble wrap, things like that. But this is the 95% of my shipping is done in this. Up there at the very top, those are my hat boxes. This row right here, these are bubble wrap, and these are my poly mailers here. And then down here on the bottom, I've got a few little, bubble mailers and things, little light boxes. But this is my #1 item. 90% of my stuff is shipped out in this little poly bag right here, because I'm a clothing seller. I get these off Amazon. I buy them by the 1,000. I'm wanting to think it cost me 25, maybe 30 bucks for 1,000 of these. All right, you can see I got a stack here. These here are the eBay ones. I get these every quarter, because of the size of my store. I get $50 in free shipping supplies, and so what I'll do is I'll order more poly mailers, because I go through a lot of them. And occasionally I will order the branded tape too, when I'm taping up a box or something like that, or a larger package. And so, but anyway, this is the new digs here. Quite an improvement over my last space. My last space was kind of small, tiny, junky, and wasn't even really an office. It was just built up underneath a storage rack, because I didn't have an office in that warehouse. I got one here, and most importantly, I got the air conditioner. This is Texas. Definitely need that. This makes a big difference, because this office is nice and chilly right now. But anyway, I'm going to go out there and I'll show you how I've got all my product moved over here. The only thing I have left to move is some overstock items and a few of the older items. I don't have that much more product to move from over there. And I do realize now that after combining down and consolidating, I've got way too many shelves. So I'm fixing to have... I'm going to put them up on Facebook. I probably got 15 or 20 shelves that I'm just going to sell off and generate a little cash that I'll take out to Trader's Village and maybe do a nice thrift haul for you. But anyway, hey, let me get out there in the warehouse and I'll show you my setup out there. All right, this is out here in the warehouse. This is where I'm stocking my inventory. And you can see the shelves start right here, and all these boxes, and all this is inventory all the way to the end. This is 40 feet here. And it's in numerical order. It runs from lowest at this end, highest at that end, and then I start at the other end over there, and it runs all the way up to here, then wraps around to here, and this is as far as I've gotten right here, because this is the end of my inventory right here with 8,500 items. Now you can see I still have a lot more room because I have more shelves down there. I've got what I've got down there at the end is a bunch of my hats and stuff. Now this clothing rack will be gone, and there will be another row of 11 shelves this way. So my overstock items, and as I grow, I've got room for on these 4 rows here. I figured up right at 13,000 items I can stock in this one bay right here, which is, it's a lot more convenient. The other warehouse, I kind of had stuff mixed around, and it took us a little while to pull orders, and I mean, not a long time, because I have a consecutive numbering system, and so when I pull orders, it's just boom, 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 boom. And I don't know if you can see here, I've got a little cart here, and basically what we'll do is the item sells, I'll come over, I'll pull it out of my inventory. See, there's my inventory number here. A little thank you sticker. These are nice. These they don't cost much, but it sure did add to positive feedback just by putting a sticker on there. You'd be surprised at how many comments I got just on the sticker, and they're pretty inexpensive. But anyway, so I will when I pull orders, I'm just going to throw them here in the basket, and then just work right down the row, one row, pull orders, and work back the other way. And once this is full, I'll push it right over the office, pack and ship, boom, done and out. Right now I've got 36 items to pack and ship, and it was sales were a little slow this weekend. Thursday was a banger. Thursday was a little over $600 for Thursday. Friday taped off, Saturday and Sunday really tapered off, and I mean, they were decent, but it was lower than they should have been for the weekend, and it didn't hit me till this morning. But here in Texas, and I believe in a lot of other states too, it was tax-free weekend, and people were out stocking up for school clothing, school supplies, things like that. And so I think a lot of my customers were focusing on school clothing, and I don't sell a lot of children's clothing. I do sell a little bit, but I don't sell a whole lot of that. And but anyway, sales weren't bad, but I noticed the downtick, and I was curious as to why. And then it hit me this morning. Tax-free weekend was this weekend, so I think that was the underlying cause, and because it's back to school time right now. And I touched on this on my other video as far as like how crowded the bin stores were, because people were in there shopping. There was a lot of teenagers in there looking for the personal clothing, and looking for bangers and retro stuff and whatever their style is now. Like I say, I'm not a children's clothing seller, but anyway, so everybody's getting ready for school. So my sales have will taper off a little bit right now, but in the next week or two, they'll bang right back up to the normal. And then right around the corner is Q4. People start shopping for Christmas here pretty soon. And granted, because I sell pre-owned men's clothing, I don't see a giant leap at Christmas time. I do see an increase, but throughout the year, my sales are fairly steady month to month to month to month. And now, don't get me wrong, in Q4, say October and November and early December, I will see a slight uptick in sales. And January, I see another uptick. And the reason uptick comes in January is because a lot of people get gift cards. Gift cards is a big thing to give people. And people take those gift cards and they go shopping online, and they get something that they wanted or didn't get for Christmas. So January, my sales are pretty strong. February tapers off to normal. And then March and April, a little bit of a peak because of income tax time. And then summertime, right back a little bit to normal. So, but I don't have big giant fluctuations between month to month because of Q4 or summer or anything like that. My sales are pretty much steady. Like I say, there will be a slight uptake for Christmas time and tax time. I will see maybe $1,500 more a month, maybe $2,000, but the rest of the time, it's just, my sales are just pretty much steady year round, which it's just great because I like that. I like having the steady sales. I don't want to rely on just Q4, because if you're relying on just a holiday to make your money, it doesn't take much to sink you, because one bad year can really hurt. And then we've been going through some bad years last couple of years, this little recession we've had, and it looks like we're starting to crawl out of it. So anyway, I got good hope for this Q4. Maybe my sales will bump up a little bit, but anyway, I'm going to pull some orders, and then I may come in. Once I pull the orders, I may go in there and do a live stream as I'm packing and shipping and take a few questions, but I haven't decided yet. See how I feel. I've got a lot to do this morning. I've still got a whole not a whole warehouse. I've got a lot of stuff in the other warehouse to bring over. And if y'all want to excuse my French, putting 2 warehouses into one is like trying to cram 2 pounds of crap into a 1 pound bag. So I'm having to go through stuff. I'm winnowing out items. I'm getting rid of stuff. I moved all my personal items, all my fishing gear over into a separate storage facility. That storage, I rented a 10 by 25 locker for my fishing gear, and I may end up moving some tools over there. I don't know if there's enough room. I've got a lot of fishing stuff, but anyway, so I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna pull these orders, and then I may do a live stream. I don't know. It just depends on the timeline because I got a lot to do this morning. Like I say, once I pack and ship, I've still got to run and go do some sourcing, and then I got to come back, and I need 90 listings done at the end of the day, and I've only got 30 done, so I got to bump out 60 listings in about 2 hours. Alrighty. Hey, and if you want to know how to list faster for free, I just did a video because eBay gives you all the tools you need to list fast with templates and the tools that they have online, and they autofill stuff. All you have to do pretty much is once you create your templates, there's a few item specifics, save all, add your pictures, listings are done, man. Don't pay somebody to do what you can do. Alrighty.